Hi everyone at Covenant, how are you? It's Kate Sargent here. It's been a while since we read a book together, so I thought that I might read one to you today. This one is about being kind to your neighbors and people who you maybe don't know very well. Do you have a neighbor in your neighborhood or maybe down your street that you don't know very well? Have you ever introduced yourself to them? Sometimes I get a little nervous to introduce myself to somebody who I've never met. Or maybe I've met them once and then I can't really remember their name, or I feel a little uncomfortable going up to them again and trying to connect over a nice conversation. But the book that I have today is called Who is My Neighbor? And it is a book about understanding people who are different than you and people who maybe can become really great members of your own personal community. We need a lot of people to help make us happy and feel whole. And when we help others and when we reach out to other people in our community, in our neighborhood, it actually makes ourselves feel better and it makes our communities safer, happier, and healthier places to be. Doesn't it feel good when you have a lot of friends and a lot of family members who you talk to and know in your life? This book will hopefully help you see that it's good to reach out and to try and connect with people, even if you don't really know them, or if you don't maybe see any similarities right away of things that you guys have in common together. So let's read the book and see what it has to say. Again, the book is called Who is My Neighbor? And it's by Amy Jill Levine and Sandy Eisenberg Sasso. It's illustrated by Denise Turu. Love your neighbor as yourself and love the stranger because you know what it was like to be a stranger. Maybe you've been the new kid in school, or maybe you've moved to a new town and you've been the stranger before. It feels really good when people reach out to you and share love, doesn't it? Once there was a town where only blues lived. There were navy and indigo, aqua and sapphire, powder blue and midnight blue. They planted irises and forget-me-nots and feasted on blueberries and blue cheese. They sailed on blue waters. Blue jays perched on branches, and brilliant blue cracker butterflies shimmered. The blues thought they were the coolest colors. Look at that picnic and all those blues. The yellows lived in a different town. They were gold and bronze, lemon and mustard, canary and pale yellow. They planted sunflowers and daffodils and feasted on bananas and butterscotch pudding. They traveled on yellow brick roads, goldfinches perched on branches, and busy yellow jackets buzzed. The yellows thought they were the hottest colors. The blues and yellows did not like one another very much. Here's a picture of maybe a blue elder saying to some children, "Be careful of yellows. We are better than they are. They are not our neighbors." And here's a yellow elder talking to some children saying they wanted their children not to go near the others. "Be careful of the blues. We are better than they are. They are not our neighbors." Uh-oh. That's a pretty strong message to receive from older people in your family or community. You probably would listen to them. Why wouldn't you? For years, the blues said that there was no such thing as a good yellow. And the yellows said there was no such thing as a good blue. Here they are divided, and they all look so sad and maybe angry. One day, Midnight Blue put on his best blue helmet and got on his blue bike He loved cruising under the bright blue sky and passing by the tranquil blue lakes, singing a bluegrass tune. Then, out of the blue, someone passed by so close to midnight blue that he lost his balance. Bump, thump, bump, thump. Midnight blue trembled to the ground. His knees started to turn black and blue. Midnight blue needed help. Oh no, have you ever fallen off your bike before? Doesn't feel very good. I'm sure he was really scared and worried. Along came Navy. Navy will help me, Midnight Blue thought. But Navy was afraid. She wondered, maybe someone made Midnight Blue fall, and maybe that person is still around. So Navy pretended not to notice Midnight Blue. Midnight Blue was surprised. Why hadn't Navy stopped to help? After all, Navy was his neighbor. Along came Powder Blue. Powder Blue will help me, Midnight Blue thought. But Powder Blue wondered, did Midnight Blue get in a fight? Is the other person still around? He was afraid, so he pretended not to notice Midnight Blue. Midnight Blue was surprised. Why hadn't Powder Blue stopped either? After all, Powder Blue was his neighbor. Neither Navy nor Powder Blue is true blue. That's the thought that Midnight Blue had. Along came Lemon. Oh no, a yellow, thought Midnight Blue. A yellow will only make things worse. Maybe this yellow will steal my books. But Midnight Blue wasn't the only one who was scared. Lemon was worried about helping a blue. What if that blue wanted to trick her? What if that blue jumped up and took her bike? Maybe she should just hurry by. What would you do? Hard to decide. But Lemon didn't hurry by. She decided to help. She didn't steal his books. She picked them up. She lifted Midnight Blue from the dirt, handed him his helmet, and helped him get on the back of her bike. Then she took him to the doctor. Oh, phew, I'm so glad that Lemon helped. I wonder how Midnight Blue felt. Maybe surprised? Probably relieved. Whew, finally, somebody's helping me. I wonder how Lemon felt. At first she was scared. Ooh, is Midnight Blue going to hurt me? But then she decided to help anyway. That seems pretty neighborly. It's a really good friend. While they waited, Lemon gave Midnight Blue a butterscotch cookie. It was broken, but still delicious. Midnight Blue said, "You're a good yellow, not like the others." "Most yellows are good," said Lemon. "So are most blues," Midnight Blue said and smiled. He pulled out a small bag of blueberries and gave some to Lemon. They were a little squished, but still yummy. Do you notice the faces on the other yellows who are in the waiting room? They seem a little skeptical. Why is that yellow talking to a blue? Is it going okay? Seems to be going okay. When Dr. Gold came out, Midnight Blue was still a bit frightened. Dr. Gold was another yellow, but Dr. Gold smiled at him. She shined his eyes and checked to make sure nothing was broken and put a bandage on each knee. Good as gold. Midnight Blue turned to Lemon and said, "Thank you for helping me. I would like to be your friend." Lemon nodded. Of course, a good friend. When Midnight Blue returned to his town, he told the Blues all about what had happened. It was not at all what they expected to hear. He said, Lemon did not pass by. Lemon did not look the other way. Lemon helped, and Dr. Gold did too. The Blues thought, the Yellows do not look like us or eat the same foods, but maybe the Yellows can be our friends. They're kind of opening up to the idea of being friendly with people who are different from them. I think that's important to do in our world. I think that's really important to do. When Lemon returned to her town, she told all the Yellows what had happened. It was not at all what they expected to hear. She said, Midnight Blue wasn't mean at all. He was thankful. He shared his blueberries. So sweet. From now on, we are going to be friends. The Yellows thought, the Blues do not know our songs or grow our plants, but maybe we can help the Blues and the Blues can help us. The faces of the Yellow Shapes are kind of thinking, I think you have a good idea there, Lemon. This maybe isn't going to be so bad. Maybe we should learn to see that differences are good and that we can help each other. From that time on, the Blues and the Yellows began to say, maybe we don't have to look alike or even live nearby. Perhaps we will like hearing new songs and tasting new foods. We might like making new friends. Maybe we can all help one another. Maybe, said Midnight Blue. Lemon smiled. Maybe, just maybe. Well, it certainly looks like that's what's happening. Look at all of the beautiful mixing of blues and yellows. They're trying each other's foods and playing together and helping one another and learning about each other. The end. So there is some stuff going on right now in the world about people being unkind to other people just because they look different than them. And we know as Christians that that is not what Jesus wants us to do. Jesus wants us to love everybody and treat every single neighbor the same way we treat ourselves, which is with love and kindness. So I wonder how you might think about this book in the coming week and think about something that you can do with the help maybe of your parents or an older sibling or a cousin to get to know somebody who you don't know very well. Maybe it's a neighbor. Maybe it's a boy or girl across the street who you see on their bicycles. Maybe you can just stop and say hello and introduce yourself. Or maybe somebody new moved into your neighborhood and you and your family could bake them sweet treats or bring them some flowers or vegetables from your garden. Sometimes all it takes is one single act of kindness, just like we saw here with Midnight Blue and Lemon. It just took one little act of kindness to change a whole bunch of people's perspective about two really big groups of people. And children especially are so good at this. Sometimes grown-ups get really tired and busy and they forget to look for these small acts of kindness. So we really need you as the children of covenant to help us remember that we need to look for the goodness in others and that we need to treat people the way that we would want to be treated. I hope you have a great week. It was really nice to read to you today. I'll see you soon.